Hi, my name is Amber Kivett, and today I'm bringing to you the newest device that I'm using in my private practice of sports medicine, sports performance, and massage bodywork. Brought to you today by Lifepro Fitness, I bring to you the 3D whole body vibration platform, which is an easy way to break up scar tissue, an easy way to break up lactic acid, easy for recovery, those who are trying to mobilize fat cells for fat metabolism, pain management. I use it for a variety of different purposes with all of my clients, and I use it every day. It's one of the greatest return of investments that I have bought in a long time. I've been in practice, private practice for 12 years with my own business, Kivett Kinetic Solutions. And so today I would like to share with you some of the different ways that you can add variety to your 10-minute workout if you choose to go less or go more. But all the different ways that you can spice up the routines that you might already see online or on YouTube, or that you've been given a direction from how to use this device. For me, I had a total hysterectomy back in December and had a really hard time with getting my pelvic floor to reactivate, and this is something that I teach all the time. So very, very frustrating for me, but a chiropractor suggested that I try this as an opportunity, and so needless to say, it's been one of the greatest things that has improved my overall health just in the last few months that I've been playing around with it. So I'd like to share with you how I'm using it for rotator cuff pain, shoulder pain, knee joint illness. There's a variety of different people that I work with, but primarily anybody age 6 all the way up to age 80, elite level athletes, all the way down to senior citizens that are just trying to learn how to rebalance. What this device has done for my clients on a balance level has been outstanding. I have a young lady who, not so young, but she's in her 70s and is suffering Parkinson's, and it has been an amazing way to pull her into a positive mindset, but has also helped with her abilities in balance and physical movement, all while not requiring any supervision, and very, very easy for her to use, even though she's limited. For a lot of my other clients who, per se, football players, or I've got baseball players, softball players, volleyball, all different varieties of athletes, but they all come in majority of the time with pain. And so my practice specializes in pain management without the use of pills and medication. So this has been an amazing addition to, what I'm doing in my everyday practice. And so without further ado, I'd like to show you basically just how to start. And for people who have sore shoulders or sore back, I'm going to show you how to start from the floor and how to work your way up to a standing position, and then how we can advance it into even more advanced positions for everyday fitness enthusiasts. So thank you for the opportunity to share with you today, and I hope you take away some neat little tricks. So in general, I like to start with level P8 for anybody that we're trying to break up scar tissue or trying to deal with pain management, because they're getting a tremendous amount of vibration. If they can't tolerate that from a pain standpoint, then I bring them back down to a level P2 or P3. I personally don't play around with the speeds. I like the preset programs that are already available, less thinking and more application. And so for people who have soreness in their knees and they still need to activate the shoulders, I'm going to show you how you can use a towel, or in my case, I'm just going to use a regular pillow. And I'm going to place this underneath of my knees. And the one thing that I've noticed in using this is that the platform itself is a little sensitive for individuals with hands and wrist pain. So what I do is I take these yoga pads, or these are memory foam pads. You can use pot holders, washcloths, whatever you need to provide some padding. But I have the individuals put their wrists directly underneath of their shoulders. We're going to start and just relax and allow the body to move freely. You can work with range of motion through the head and the neck. Like I said, I do a lot of sports medicine and pain management. So in moving the head and neck, we're already activating a change in the shoulder socket and in the shoulder joint altogether, and how those muscles change the angulation and force coupling throughout the whole upper extremity and into the hips. So even though my arms and my hands are doing the movement here, it's actually working all the way into my hips and all the way into my knees, because my knees are in contact with the ground. So for people who can't tolerate standing for a long period of time, This is a very easy way to soften low back pain or even upper shoulder, neck pain from sitting in an office at a desk all day, or those who drive all day. This is a great alternative to start with. For those who are fitness enthusiasts, who are trying to strengthen the core, what we can do from here is go into more of a plank position. And if they get tired of holding in this plank position, then they can slowly drop down to the knees and then maybe just get into a hover. And I find a lot of times that the hover is way harder than just the push-up position itself. So we'll go back and forth. You can do plank jacks in this position in order to stabilize and stimulate the body all together. So that's just an easy way to spice things up without really doing a whole lot of extra work. From here, I'm going to use the Mark Bell Slingshot Grippy Circle, but you can use the resistance bands that come with the kit. But we can just add resistance with the band, okay? In doing this, and once I get into a plank position, this really changes how the entire core is activated all the way down to the toes. So right now, my entire body is working. You can hear my heart rate is getting up because you can hear it in my voice. So that's how an easy way to use hands and knees. Now, one thing that I like to do with a lot of clients is get them into moving their arms into shoulder circles. And so what we can do with this is, once you know that your client can move the arms into full circles, then we can go straight to the platform and do the same thing and loosen up that connective tissue in the shoulder, in the neck, and in the upper back. For those who have carpal tunnel or who have forearm or elbow lateral epicondylitis problems, we can turn the hands to the outside so that we're now working the elbows and the wrist on a different position and the muscles in the hands. For those who need to work on mobilization of the hands and wrist, we can turn those arms around and allow the device to work for us instead of trying to force it. And for this position, this is a really challenging position, but what you can do, going sideways, is work again on those shoulder rolls, which is awesome for breaking through trigger points in the shoulder and in the neck. For people who have headaches, this is a great exercise that you can do forward and backward. And then we can reverse this and do the same thing. And for me, I do a lot of hours of body work and massage, so this keeps my body like self-care. So this is a great tool for massage therapists and for chiropractors who work in maintenance and body work practice. From here, if we want to make this a notch harder, all we have to do is just pick up the knees. Or we can go all the way to a plank position with the arms out. And again, rolling only the shoulders. I'm not moving the rest of my body, okay? So that's just a real quick trick for that. One thing I figured out today for pelvic floor, and that's why I bought this device, was for pelvic floor, so you can use the yoga mats and keep the toes on the backside on the pillow. Right now, just in this position, I'm getting a lot more pelvic floor activity and abdominal firing than I would if I were actually standing, because we're shortening the lever, which there forces this to activate a lot faster as the direct force in contact with the platform. So for people who are forward shoulder and forcing the pelvis upright, what I like to tell people to do is separate ribs from hips. We're going to take the arms behind the back and grab the forearms, and we're going to squeeze an orange. And in doing this, we are now sending that vibration up much higher into the torso, where it can break free. I've got a lot of clients who have GI distress, and this has been a game changer for their at-home treatment plan, where some people will just come in to use device just for GI distress if they have an upset stomach or they're having an acute case of GERD. That's one of the reasons why, another reason why I bought the device was for the use of my husband who's having GERD problems. So what we can do here by keeping the shoulders up and back is we can actually roll forward and do an interior pelvic tilt to a posterior pelvic tilt. So just doing this right here without dropping my upper body, okay, I am really working a lot of those lower pelvic floor muscles, which is really important immediately following any kind of women's health surgery, bladder surgery, prostate issues. Great application tool there. Again, I cannot tell you how invaluable this device has been for myself and my clients. It gets used every single day, so I'm quite grateful for the opportunity to work with it. Now from here, if we're wanting to carry this a little bit higher up into the ribcage and into the chest, we're going to take our hands, we're going to push away the ceiling and squeeze the glutes. By squeezing the glutes, it shortens its back circuit and forces this to lengthen, which again opens up that iliopsoas group, and that's the #1 source of low back pain most of the time. So I'm getting a really nice good stretch here. I'm squeezing my glutes, and I'm feeling that all the way through the inside and through the inside midline of my body. So we're getting a lot of fascial connections, a lot of connective tissue here, a lot of musculature. We're getting some joints lubricated. It's a great, great feeling. So we're going to extend back. We don't want to bend backwards right away because we want to, since we're actually moving through the vibration, I don't recommend doing that because of hyperextension of the lumbar spine, and then you add vibration to it and we get a little bit more shifting of structure, so I don't recommend that. But what we can do is push the ceiling away and we can lean to the side, okay? Now we're releasing the QL, which is also a number 1 and 2 source of hip pain and external hip rotators. And we're going to shift to the other side. Now from here, if we want to create an extra trick here, we can just take this into a forward lunge. And here we're really stressing the iliopsoas. And you can hear this working in my voice and up and through my diaphragm. So it really, really does work. I'm not just making this up to make it look good. Okay? If we're trying to open up the chest and the ribs, we go behind and lift. And you can see how much that's vibrating my abdominal wall. So we're activating a lot of things going on here. So this is good. Okay, so that's just some ways in how we can actually work the pelvic floor without sitting on the device. Now I want to share with you how we can squat. And so for this, I'm going to use, this is the Mark Bell Grippy Circle. It's the slingshot. Highly recommend this device or this extra accessory for people who complain of the rubber bands pinching and rolling. This actually grips onto your clothes or onto your skin, and it keeps it in place, and it requires a great amount of resistance. So I'm just going to set this on a low-level program just to demonstrate this. So I'm on P4 right now, and I'm just going to get up here. And what I'm going to worry about right now is just working on spreading my toes, squeezing my toes. So now I'm actually activating the toes and the neuroreceptors on the bottom of the foot. 80% of the neuroreceptors that give feedback to the brain about ground force reaction and balance only exist on the bottom of the skin of the feet. So our brain needs that enrichment in order to learn how to adjust, how to land properly, how to spring off the ground. It's all balance related, but really, really good proprioception down there, okay? So here, I tell my clients make sure to really spread the feet, get as much contact with the feet as we can, and just simply spread the band apart. And right now, my glutes are on fire, way worse than doing squats. So that being said, we can go from standing all the way up, pushing those thighs apart. Now we're getting a lot of abduction, a lot of external hip rotators. We're getting a lot of mid-back right now, okay? If I lock my knees, this goes straight up into my abdominals. If I relax the knees, now we're into the hips. If we squeeze the glutes and do an anterior pelvic tilt, now we're getting into more of the abs, and we're getting a really good stretch in the low back. So a lot of great things happening here all at one time. Okay, now if we want to add some variety to strength here, we can drop down into a squat, okay? For people who are weak, you can do the elbows to the knees to stabilize, okay? You can also just put your hands on your knees, and this is like super on fire. A lot of people that love to feel sore, that love to feel the burn, this is burning a lot right now, so it's a great thing, okay? And then I'll just have clients move knees inside to outside, which is really working these muscles, okay? And at the same time, we're loosening up here on the inside, so we're taking tension away, breaking up a lot of emotion in our tissue, so anxiety lowers through this treatment. It's a great anxiety prevention treatment. You can rock back and forth. Make sure it's on a low level when you do that because of balance. Okay, those are just some things that we can do with the grippy circle. If we're really trying to get, for low back pain, again, we can drop the pillow down We can put one foot up, hands down. This back leg is nice and stretched out. And all you have to do here is lower the shoulder to the knee if you can get into this position. And we're just going to look up at the hand, rotate away so that we're getting that spiral rotation on the fascial chain, and just really sink into this. This feels really, really good on the back. Okay? We drop down, tickle the armpit to the outside, and we open back up. If we have our head follow our hands, then the whole fascial chain will work. But we have to remember, we have fascia that attaches on the bottom of the great toe and comes up the posterior deep line, and it actually attaches right here on above the forehead. So if you have a headache and you're tight down low, you can actually break through this tissue just by being on the whole body vibration plate with Lifepro Fitness. So again, it's been a great, great piece of equipment to add to my business. I actually sell this service on a membership, so I charge $25 per day for people to come in and use this device. And needless to say, it gets used several times every day, so it's paying for itself pretty quick. Now from here, if we're trying to really open up through here, push away the ceiling again, we're going to lean towards the leg that's on the platform. And if you want to add a whole nother layer of advancement to this stretch, just squeeze the glute on the back side and you can really feel this. It's amazing, amazing feeling. And then we can look behind us, and then we add our lats and our upper traps, and we add serratus muscles, interior and posterior. We're getting a whole different fascial connected chain here. So if you don't understand fascia and how it affects pain management and emotions and anxiety, it's really important to learn about that, because this right here is game changer for fascia, and that's what my business is all about, is fascial maintenance. So here's, working the other side, open up, drop down, open up. You can also drop this hand down. We can open up this way, which really changes the pull on the opposite hip. And on this one, we're going to go underneath and tuck underneath the outside of the knee. We're going to open up again. Now from here, we can drop into this straight triangle position. And now we're breaking up hamstring. If we pull the toes towards the shins, now we're getting all the way down into the calf complex and all the way up into the glute. So this right here again, another very powerful stretch. All right. So again, thank you so much for joining me today to learn about the Lifepro Fitness 3D whole body vibration platform. It's been the best new addition to my business. So if you are in business in wellness, recovery, fitness, sports medicine, it is game changer for service offerings. If you are somebody who's looking for pain relief at home, it is a very cheap, effective way to start your day, end your day, and it only takes 10 minutes of your time. So thank you so much for listening in, and hope that you enjoyed today's session.